please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Let's focus on some earnings reactions then. Muthoot Finance reported their Q3 numbers. Loan growth has remained muted. Asset quality has deteriorated a tad. However, the company has reported robust net interest margins. George Alexander Muthoot, the MD of the company, joins in now with the earnings fine print. Mr. Muthoot, thanks very much for joining in. So I understand that this time around your NIMs have benefited from the recovery in the overdue portfolio, which has matured. Can this focus, as well as the stable gold prices, continue to boost numbers? What's the trend looking like now for the coming quarters?
See, thank you. Good morning. The company had made a conscious decision to recover or meet customers in their homes and recover the loans or make the customers to renew the loans instead of auctioning it. Rather, they had two options of either renewing the loan or else to take back the loan or close the loan account instead of auctioning. See, because of that, our NPS have gone up a tad. Today it is about 4.9%. But because of this, the realizations are better, the interest collections are better. If you look at the interest collections, this quarter, the interest collection is 1,567 versus the corresponding quarter of last year, which was 1,346. So this is a big recovery. Although the assets under management was almost the same of gold loan in those two quarters. So this shows that the collections have likely improved and it has improved the profitability. That is one of the main reasons for the profitability increase. Certainly in the last 1 year, a percentage, 100 to 125 basis points, cost of funding has also come down. So these were the two reasons for the better interest collection performance. So this strategy which you have taken actually holds good, and we would be continuing the strategy in the next 2 quarters or 3 quarters or probably in the coming days. Finally, to see that the auctions are less and the gold is taken back by the customer.
All right. Right. Hang in there, Mr. Muthoot. You know, we're getting in some news coming in on the US government officially shutting down because the Congress has failed to pass the spending bill. This had happened sometime last month as well, and there were concerns over the fiscal prudence or fiscal situation in the US as well with the Trump infrastructure spending coming in. There were comments earlier as well that $300 billion deficit could increase. The deficit could increase by about $300 billion, and now we're getting in news that the US government has officially shut down. Congress has failed to pass the spending bill. How long does it stay shut down for? How long before it resumes is something that we'll need to keep an eye out on, but we'll try to get some more.
You know, I'm just picking up some lines from CNBC. They are saying that this funding lapse may actually not last very long because the Senate and the House are due to vote on a budget agreement their time Friday morning. So I think when Wall Street opens for trade, sometime around that time, we may expect that the vote may happen. So perhaps there could be an agreement that's reached.
All right, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Their time Friday morning. We'll keep you updated here on CNBC TV18 as well. Let's get back to our conversation with Mr. Muthoot. You know, you spoke a lot about the recoveries. You have been going to people's houses. And the thing that I wanted to know is that how much of the NIMs, 15% of your net interest margin, how much of that is on account of auctions? You said you've reduced the auctions a little bit. If you could give us some number on the kind of money that you raised via auctions in the previous quarter?
See, when we auction an ornament, we don't realize the full interest. Of course, we realize the principal plus part of the interest only. So when we ask the customer to renew it or when he takes back the loan, we get the full interest. That's a big jump on all these NPS, and not only the NPS, the loans which have crossed the 12-month threshold. So our realizations definitely is better because of that. And I think that is one of the main reasons why all these things have come. It helps customers to retain their gold. That's the biggest advantage to the customer. And selling also, when auctioning, we have to pay 3% GST also. So on the whole principal and interest, a 3% GST is to be paid. So these are all charges to the or reductions in the realizations. So that is the conscious decision we have taken. And I think it is showing a lot of result and a lot of actually customer sentiment also is definitely improving because we are not auctioning the gold. Of course, the flip side is that the NPA numbers will show a higher amount. but that's only a technical NPA, which always say it's only a technical NPA. The principal and part of the interest is fully protected.
Okay, but Mr. Muthoot, the last time you spoke to us, you said the NIMs would be maintained between 10 to 12%, and now it's 15%. Like you said, it has been propped higher by some auctions. That strategy will continue. So do we expect the NIMs to be at around that 15% mark going forward, or post this auction conundrum, they can come down to about 10 to 12%, your guided range?
I think we would certainly like to keep it around 12%, plus or minus 1% is what we would like to keep it. And that is going to be the steady state, that is going to be the steady state of the NIMs going forward.
Okay. Sir, revenues have seen some bit of traction this time around, but, it's still below your historical run rates. Can we expect, by when can we expect some bit of a pickup here?
See, the pickup can happen only when the assets under management also grows. The total assets under management, including the subsidiaries, have actually now crossed 30,000. It is actually touching 30,700 crores. So earlier, our subsidiaries, which is non-gold loan business, was less than 5% last year. Today, it is 8% of the assets under management. And by the end of the year, we would like it to become 10%. And next year, we would like it to become 15% of the assets under management. So we are diversifying the gold loan business also. As we diversify, as the AUM goes up, to answer your question, our revenues also will go up.
Okay, so before we let you go, just two quick numbers, sir. What kind of expectations are you working with in terms of your core gold loan portfolio going forward? How will that AUM pan out? And the other non-core, the non-gold portfolio, which you believe will grow faster. So the two numbers, what kind of growth rate can we expect in both of them?
See, gold loan has grown by about 5% in the last 12 months, last 9 months. I'm sure by the end of the year, it will reach about 11 to 12%, just pure gold loan portfolio. That's a gold loan portfolio, and that I think is what we will be. See, I think you're not very much clear about the auctions. The auctions, when we auction a gold, it leads to low realization. When we auction a gold, the realization is low. When we don't auction it, when customer takes it, the realization is high. That is why our NIM actually went up by 15%. So in the last two quarters, our auctions have been much lesser than last year. In the 2 years, 3 years back, we had auctioned about 3,000 crores. But this year, hardly we have auctioned about less than 1,000 crores, hardly. And this quarter, very little, just 200 crores. So these are the things which are helping us in the realizations.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Muthoot, for joining in and giving us all those details. Pure gold loan portfolio expected to grow by 11 to 12%. That's the word coming in from him.